So let's go ahead and tackle unlike fractions. Now, unlike fractions are simply fractions that have different denominators. You may see a problem like this show up. Evaluate x over 4 plus 3 over y, and they tell you that x equals 1 and y equals 8. Well, this word evaluate is actually really simple. All it means is take these variables. So we know x equals 1, so we're just going to substitute 1 for x. And we know that y equals 8, so we're going to substitute 8 for y. And so you should end up with something like this, 1/4 plus 3/8, again after substituting the variables for x and y. Now the real question here is, why do I need like denominators? We've all been told this for years since we were in elementary school. We need to have like denominators before you can add. But why? Well, let's look at these graphically. Let's put a picture to these. Imagine we've got two pizzas, one cut up into fourths, and we've got one slice here like 1/4, and one cut up into 8 slices, so we have 3 of those slices, so we have 3/8. Now let's say we each want a piece of pizza. I'm going to take the green slice, and you get a blue slice, and we should each be happy because we get one, right? Everything's fair. Everything's equal. Is that fair really, though? Well, why not? Well, of course it's not fair, and the reason is because the slices are different sizes. Now, the denominator of a fraction tells us how big slices are. We want the slices to be the same size if we're going to add them. It's not fair to simply say we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 slices, right? That doesn't make sense because 3 of them are 8ths and 1 of them is a 4th. So they're completely different sizes. So what we need to do is find a way to turn these slices into the same size as these. And here, actually, if you look, you can see that 4ths and 8ths line up pretty well, and that's because, as you probably remember from equivalent fractions, you can easily turn 1/4 into 2/8, and we see that here that a 4th is actually 2/8. So how do we do that without drawings of pizzas? Well, the first thing we do is we list out the common multiples, and we look for the least common multiple. Here we have 8, we can see. Now again, 16 is a common multiple, but it's not the least common multiple. So we're going to use 8 as our denominator. Well, 3/8 is already set, it's got 8. So we just need to change 1/4 into an 8th using equivalent fractions. And obviously, what do we need to multiply 4 by to get to 8? Well, 2. So you multiply the top and bottom by 2. And 1/4 becomes 2/8, which we actually already saw, right? And then you add them. 2/8 plus 3/8 is 5/8, which you can easily see here is true. So I want you to go ahead and pause the video now, and I want you to try this one on your own. Okay, well, hopefully you've had a chance to work this problem out. And just like originally, the original problem, what we're going to do is evaluate this by substituting in for x, we're going to plug in 2, substitute 2. And for y, we're going to use 4, so you end up with 2/7 over plus 1/4. And what we need to do is find a common denominator. Now here we actually need to find equivalent fractions for both, because 4 doesn't turn easily into 7. And if you were to list out your common multiples and find the lowest common multiple, you'd find that it's 28. Well, how do you make 7 28? You multiply by 4. How do you make 4 28? You multiply by 7. So on and so forth. So you end up 2/7 ends up being 8/28. 1/4 is 7/28. And now these slices are the same size, right? These are two pizzas that are cut into 28 slices each. And we've got 8 slices here and 7 here, which means we've got 15 out of 28.